Welcome back to the video course for the Introduction to the Dongxiao. We are on lesson number 3, and our third song on page 39 of the text is Happy New Year. So this is a really familiar song. I find that having these songs that we already know, learning the jianpu notation and learning how to play them on the xiao is a little bit easier, right? We can connect the dots a little bit faster. So we see that those half notes are underlined, we get that. We see the pitch drop down to the 5, to the 7, we see that dot underneath. And so that representation starts to internalize and we can understand it a little bit better, okay? We are going to see some things repeated. So we have that bracketing, the slur above the top, which is the legato. So we know we play these phrases continuously and smooth. We have that 3/4 timing, continued from the last lesson. And we are going to increase the tempo up to 80. So, you know, Happy New Year, it's a more upbeat song. We want to have a little bit more energy in it. But again, you can play with the BPM. You can lower the tempo, get used to the progression, and slowly build it back up. That's not the most important thing, especially when you're first starting out, okay? We really want to get clear notes. And so one of the things you'll notice is we have more low notes, right? We have this 5, we have this 7, and we kind of have an irregular pattern where we're not doing a steady progression down like we did before. We're going to drop, we're going to skip a few notes all at once. And so you really want to build your sensitivity with the embouchure and being able to relax that so we can open up and get those lower notes. Because if not, you're going to be prone to overblowing, maybe playing 2 octaves together. You might hear a little bit of the middle register coming through. And so we really want to be able to relax, recover, and come back to that middle register when we need to. Okay, so that's going to be the trial in this song. The other new thing is we have the number 4 in our notation. So this doesn't get used very often in traditional Chinese music because it's predominantly pentatonic. So we skip the 4 and we skip the 7. So fa and shi. Oftentimes you won't see it. So I picked this song so we would get some good practice with this position. So the 4 is going to be a little bit special. We're going to cover 2 with the ring finger like normal. And then we're going to cover your 5, your 6, and your 7 with the left hand. But we're going to leave 8, the thumb hole on the back, open. So this will be your fa, okay? So like I said, you just need to get some practice with this. It's a little bit of a different progression, but once you practice it a few times, you'll start to get used to it, okay? Now, the rearticulations in this song are just going to be the lowest note. So for 3 we've already done, we rearticulate with the thumb hole on the back. Now, when we get into the second part of the first line, we're going to rearticulate the 5. Now we're just going to do the lowest note. So we do the pinky, okay? We lift the pinky on number 1 and get that rearticulation for 5. So the first line will sound like this. Okay, very smooth. You already got that kind of upbeat party celebration feeling. Now the second line, we're going to be rearticulating that 4. Now for 4, we want to actually roll on the back hole. So what I do is I take my thumb, I start lower than the hole, and I just roll upwards. And you're going to basically touch the hole as you pass by. So it's a slight cover. So the first measure sounds. Right? It's just a touch. You don't want to cover the hole because the thumb will be pretty slow. And so if we hit it, we go. Right? We don't want that. That's too abrupt. It's too sharp because when you cover the thumb hole, you're going to drop all the way down to 1. And so we don't want to hear the number 1 come through. We just want to rearticulate 4. Okay? So that second line, then we get to the end of it, we want to make sure that we're relaxing and we're getting those lower notes, the 5 and the 7. Okay? So the second line sounds like this. And of course from there you can repeat and play it over and over. Really nice kind of a basic scale really to go through some middle and some low notes. The full song will sound like this. Support the Ways of Wudang on Patreon and unlock the complete series of video tutorials.